Hi guys, welcome to the part 3 of the course ReactJS, Redux, NodeJS and ElasticSearch tutorial. So till part 2 we discussed the curriculum and what Node, NPM and Express is. We had our initial Node server running as well, which was here. So this is again my Git repository. So this is where we left it last time. So if I run my Node server and I go to my localhost 3000, hi Hackavan. So now what we'll do is we'll get the project structure ready and we'll get our server up and ready. These are the 2 points which we'll be taking care of. So first, within React, let's get the project structure ready. So within React, we'll create a few folders: dev, source. So all our development code will go within dev. That's another folder named JS for all the JavaScript code. Within JS, let's make a folder named components. What components is, we'll get to when we get to the next tutorial, that is about React. Then there will be another folder within dev, we'll name it public. So in this we'll contain all our CSS files if we have any. Mostly we'll be using Bootstrap, but still. Within source we'll have a folder named JavaScript. Within JavaScript folder we'll have a file named bundle.min.js. What this file is we'll discuss later. Within source we'll make a folder named views. Within views we'll make a file named index.pug. We'll talk about what .pug is in a short time. So this is the basic folder structure. Apart from it, let's map it from here. Yeah, bundle.min.js, views, index.pug. Oh, there's one parent app.js which we have to make, and this particular file. Okay. So within JS, we'll make a file named app.js. I made a folder named app.js or what? Okay, sorry, it should be a file. JS, there should be a file named app.js. Okay, and within React there should be a file named webpack.config.js. We'll talk about each and every file as we proceed to those files, but this is the basic structure. Now once we have got the project structure ready, let's get our server up and ready. So we go to the server.js file and just paste this code. I'll explain each and every line of this code there itself. Server.js, this was just a testing code, we remove it, Control V, Control S. So all we are doing here is, in the last tutorial we already installed Express, but I don't see it here. Package.json, we have Express and Webpack as our dependencies, so we don't need to install it separately. All we can do is go here to our folder and do ls. We see our package.json file. Now all we can do is npm install, and this will install all the dependencies present in package.json file and create a folder named node modules, within which we can see 2 subfolders, one for Webpack, one for Express. In short, one for each our dependencies. Okay, it's already installed. So if I go here, do I see a folder named node modules? Yes. Express, Webpack. So it's available locally now for this node application. So server.js. So we imported Express in the line number 1. Then we created an object named app for the Express, and we used app to set a few paths. We set a path of static. So static is the path source.js. So React source.js. So you're saying we'll keep all our static files over here. We set our view engine as pug. So you saw this, we created a file in pug, index.pug. So what is pug? Pug is in fact a template engine which was formerly known as Jade. Most of you would have heard the name Jade. So it makes writing HTML code pretty simple. We could have written an HTML file as well, but just for convenience and you to know about it, I used a .pug extension. We'll see how to write a short HTML file using the pug syntax very shortly. So we told our application that yes, the template engine we are going to use is pug, and where will be our views. Views means where will this index.pug file, all our view file will be present. It will be present in source views. Source views. If you see, there is an index.pug file there. Then we do an app.get. We say that for every request, that is app.get star, you render me this file index which is present in source views. So if it is a complex application, you will have a lot of app.get and app.post present in this particular file. Like for every particular URL, app.get /to-do, app.get /character, and we have to separately define its different methods in this, the get, post, delete, put methods. But here, because it's a demo application, we just said whatever request we get from anything star, you render the file named index, and you said that your server should listen on port 3000. That's all we did over here. Now if you try to run this particular file, let's see what happens. So we again go node server.js. Let me clear the screen. So node server.js, it's listening on port 3000. If I refresh this, cannot find module pug. Why so? Because we didn't install pug. If you see, we have to install pug. So pug is not present locally in our for our node application. Control C, Control Shift V, npm install pug -- save. Let it go on. Meanwhile, so once pug is installed, we have to also write this index.pug file which is looking for, because for every request it will render me a file named index, which is right now an empty file. It's empty. So is our pug installed? Yes. So again, if you go to node modules, you'll see a folder named pug. Yes, all set. So run the server now. Clear node server.js. Refresh this page. It's an empty page because we have not mentioned anything in index.pug file. So now let's see how easy it is to write HTML code in a pug file. Doc type. You can use any template engine or you can use pure HTML code as well. I prefer to write HTML as HTML code, but here just wanted to share this template engine with you guys. HTML. So a head for an HTML and a body for an HTML. That's it. It's like pure English. The title, say Hackavan, and a body with h1 tag saying hello from Hackavan. Or if you have to later on include a script, it's just like script, whatever be your source. That simple it is. If you have to attach a link, but I think hello spelling is wrong. Hello from Hackavan. So I think this should pretty much get our job done. So now if I go again, now if you see, because I did some changes and I refresh my page, it says hello from Hackavan. So what in fact happened was the request hit my node server. The node server said that whatever request you're giving me, I don't care, I'll render only one file, that is index. It goes looking for index where? In my views directory, which is in source views, because in source code we'll write all our compiled code. In short, mostly we'll be dealing with the dev code for writing our code in the dev folder. So it goes, views the index.pub file, says renders this particular file and shows it to you on the browser. You can check in Postman as well. HTTP localhost 3000, a GET request, we send it, hello from Hackavan, 200 OK request, a response. So that is all about this tutorial. So we got our server ready, we got our folder structure ready, we understood what is pug, we wrote our first view file named index.pug. Okay, there's another thing that I'm talking about here. Rather than running using our server using the command node server.js, because every time I do some changes I have to kill it, again run it, we can use a watcher. So NodeMon is a monitor. It's a utility that will monitor for any change in your source code and automatically restarts your node server. So all we need to do to install NodeMon is, it just sounds like Pokemon, npm install. We can install it globally, NodeMon. So now as we are installing this file as NodeMon as global, we should not see this file getting added to our package.json file. See, NodeMon didn't get added. Even the node modules, you won't see any NodeMon. If you guys are wondering what this gitignore file is, this gitignore file is for my git. So all I'm saying is that don't include the file named node_modules in my git commit. So I won't be committing node modules because this will be a huge file and I don't want it to be committed. So NodeMon is installed. Now all you need to do is NodeMon server, enter. If you see, your code is running and it's also watching. So it's monitoring. So any changes you do in your source code, it will automatically restart your server and you're good to go. Again, I refresh this page, hello from Hackavan. So from now onwards, to run our server, we'll be using NodeMon instead of just the node command. Okay, see you in the next video then, where we'll talk about the remaining two files that we created. So we created a file named webpack.config.js. What does this file do? What does bundle.min.js do? What is Babel? We'll talk about those things in the next tutorial. See you then.